Most e-commerce founders think hiring a creative agency is the key to scaling. I thought the same thing. For 8 years, I've been deep in this industry. Started with my own e-commerce brand. I built also a creative agency called UGC.gr. Now I run at Bakers, a media buying agency. But here's the thing. Creative agencies are doing you a disservice. And I'm going to prove it to you using the exact math that made me shut down our creative services. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you why most creative agencies cannot give you 100%, the two terrible options they're stuck with, why this could be killing your growth, and what you should actually be doing instead. This isn't theory. I spent millions on ads. I've run creatives for my own e-commerce brand. I've managed a creative agency, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I walked away from it. Let me start with where this all comes from. I started with my e-commerce business, and like every founder, I quickly realized something crucial. 80% of e-commerce is marketing. Your customers never see your product in real life until after they've paid. Everything happens through a screen, through your ads. So if your marketing sucks, your product doesn't matter. Because I knew creatives were the bottleneck for my business. I started UGC.gr, a creative agency making UGC ads for other e-commerce brands, because I produced them for my own. And we did good work. The ads worked. They made money for our clients. But here's the problem. We didn't make money. The creatives that were generating revenue for our clients required so many hours that we couldn't turn a profit at standard pricing. High quality UGC isn't cheap to produce when you're doing it right. So I had to make a choice. That choice led me to start at Bakers, focusing on media buying, not creatives. And the decision changed everything. Here's the harsh reality every creative agency faces. The math doesn't work. Let's say a client pays you $200 per video. Sounds reasonable, right? But here's the breakdown. $100 goes to the creator. That leaves $100 for the agency. To make a good video that actually converts, you need idea generation, script writing, creator sourcing and negotiation, product shipping, communication, possible edits, and project management. We're talking 5 hours minimum for one video. At $100 for 5 hours of work, that's $20 per hour before business expenses. After overhead, there is nothing left. So creative agencies have two options. Option one, charge what's actually worth. $1,000 per video to maintain quality and to make profit. But now you're pricing yourself out of the market. And here's the real problem. Clients need about 10 videos to actually test and find winners. Most clients can't spend that. So they buy 2 or 3 videos for $2,000 or $3,000. And there is a real chance none of them work. Why? Because creatives are a numbers game. Even if you are the best in the world, you can't be 100% sure a creative will work. You need volume. So option 2, charge less than $1,000, but cut corners. Use cheaper creators, rush the process, minimal revisions, template scripts, using AI. You stay competitive on price, but the ads don't perform as well. Here's what no one is telling you. Most agencies stuck in option 2, whether they admit it or not. They have to cut corners to make the numbers work. Because if they gave you 100% of what you actually need, they'd go out of business. At Adbreakers, we faced this exact problem. We were producing killer creatives that drove results, but we couldn't scale the service profitably. So we stopped offering it. Plus, the owners were 100% dependent on us to make the business work, which is not ideal for a founder. Here's the key issue with creative services. More time equals more creatives. More revisions equals better creatives. More testings equals more winners. The more hours someone spends on your creatives, the better your results. But agencies can't give you unlimited hours. They'd lose money. So you get a fraction of what you actually need. When an agency is handling 10 clients, each one gets 10% of the available hours, not 100% of what's required to actually scale. They need to spend as little time as possible on your account while still delivering acceptable results. Why? Because that's the only way they can make a profit from the service they are providing you. You are not getting what you think you are paying for. And that's the disservice. Here's the truth. If you're not personally involved in your marketing, you won't scale. E-commerce is 80% marketing. as I told you before. Your customers are making decisions based on your ad creative, your messaging, your landing page, your brand story, not your product. Not yet, at least. They haven't seen your product. All they know is what you tell them. The best performing brands I've worked with, they do creatives in-house. The founder is involved. The team understands the brand voice. They move fast. Why? Because the founder knows the product. They know the customer. They have conviction in the messaging. An external creative agency, they are guessing. Sure, they're talented, but they don't have your knowledge. When you outsource creatives entirely, you remove your responsibility. You expect the agency to do everything, but they cannot give 100%. So your creative output is mediocre and you don't scale. You've basically paid someone to slow you down while thinking you're spinning up. What you should do. Here's my recommendation. First, learn creative strategy yourself. You don't need to be a video editor, but you need to understand what makes a hook work, how to structure messaging, and what angles resonate with your audience. This is non-negotiable if you want to scale. Second, build or manage in-house creative production. Hire creators directly or hire a creative team that works for you, not for 10 other clients. You control the volume, the quality, and speed. This is where you need to invest your time and resources. Third, focus on what actually moves the needle. Whether you run your own media buying or work with someone else, that's up to you. But the creatives, that's your responsibility. That's where the leverage is. That's what determines if you scale or stay stuck. At Breakers, we made a deliberate choice to stop offering creative services, even though we were damn good at it. Why? Because it wasn't in the client's best interest. We couldn't give them the hours they needed without losing money. So we stopped. That's the honest approach. Call to action. So here's what I want you to take away. Stop expecting an agency to solve your creative problem. Take ownership of your creative production. Build it in-house. Stay involved. Master that skill. That's how you scale. If this resonated with you, drop a comment. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.